My friends, I I welcome to all of you, dear little friends. I know that some of you are from the 6th class, some from the 7th class, from the 8th standard, and some from 9th and 10th. Well, before we go into the text, I first of all introduce you to the grammar. Generally, grammar is a big devil as far as people are concerned. People think that English grammar is very difficult. No, it's not. I may tell you, but before I do so, let me tell you that today this is my first lecture in English and our channel. I request all of you and most of you to subscribe to this channel and we will see the results. So my friends, you are here to give me your views and your parents and guardians may also give their views to us. Now, grammar, as I told you, is understood as taken to be a devil of a language. But I may tell you here that without the knowledge and perfect knowledge of grammar, we cannot understand any language. Because grammar is the backbone. It is the spine of a language. A language can be understood, can be written and spoken only when you have a good knowledge of its grammar. Now there are different languages as well as there are different grammars. English has its own grammar and we can define grammar in very few words. That is to say, grammar is the backbone of a language. We can say that language very much depends upon grammar, and if you have good knowledge of grammar, then you have good knowledge of that language also. Now in English grammar, as I told you, students learn English grammar right from the 6th class to 10th class. Here today I'll write about some items of English grammar which we will take up one by one. First is parsing, P-A-R-S-I-N-G, parsing. Then second is voice, V-O-I-C, voice. Third is narration, N-A-R-R-A-T-A-O-N, narration. Fourth is transformation of sentences, transformation of sentences. Then fifth we have clause analysis, clause analysis. Then sixth we have synthesis, and seventh, there are a few more topics in grammar. We will talk of them separately, but I leave this parsing because it is naturally done in the primary classes, that is to say in first class, in second class, in third class, fourth and fifth class. I start with voice. Now, one notion I may very clearly tell you about is that there are two voices, active voice and passive voice. It is this. Number one, active voice and passive voice. P-A-S-S-I-V-E, passive voice. My friends, I tell you that generally most of people who are in our profession, that is to say they are teachers of English, then they say that active voice and passive voice are just like same, or active voice sentences may be easily changed into passive voice. Each and every sentence of active voice can be changed to passive voice. Now I may tell you here, with all apology to my friends, to those persons who are teaching you English people, English, well, active voice sentences cannot be changed into passive voice sentences, all of them. No, it's a wrong fallacy. Some sentences very much depends upon upon the mentality, upon the intention of the speaker, whether he or she is going to use active voice sentence or passive voice sentence. Now, there are some subjects or there are some themes in which only passive voice sentences work and no active voice sentences are. For example, in science, and when you don't want to mention the subject, then of course you change such sentences into passive voice, or only passive voice sentences are used, not active voice. So very much depends upon what type of sentences you are going to use and to what persons you are going to give your sentences. If your intention is to clear the subject, then you will naturally turn to active voice. If you do not want to show the subject in those sentences, then you will turn to passive voice sentences. This should be very clear to you. Then we have three types of sentences. Sentences of three types. One is simple sentence, then complex sentence, complex, and third is compound sentence. CMPOUN, compound sentence. I have bracketed the complex and compound sentences because these two require clause analysis, whereas in the first type of sentences, which are simple sentences, we have only subject and predicate. A simple sentence which has only one verb can easily be divided into subject and predicate. These two parts are must: subject and predicate. There are only two parts of simple sentences, subject and predicate. Now, you know, there are certain happenings, or something happens, or some work is done, some action is done, whatever the case may be, but there is a subject, there is an actor, or there is a person who is responsible for all the doings. So, he is known, might be in one word, might be in 2 words, or 3 words, or 4 words, or even 5 words. I shall give you a few examples to show how one word subject is done, or how many words come for the subject, but you place them together, which is known as subject phrase. So subject phrase, then whatever is said about the subject is known as predicate. So subject, I told you that I shall give you a few examples. Now of simple sentence, I give you the first example is, all the boys of our college went to support our team. All the boys of our school, this is subject. All the boys of our school. Now their action is that they have gone to support their team, to help their team. So have gone, this is predicate. This has been said about the subject. Have gone to help our team, etc., whatever the case may be. So you see, in simple sentences which have only one verb, there is one part which is known as subject and the second part is known as predicate. In subject, we have only that one word or those few words which make one phrase, and they are the doer or they are the agent of the main thing or of the happening. Then whatever is said about the subject is known as predicate. So these two, subject and predicate, make the simple sentence. This is known as simple analysis. Now we come to the complex and compound sentences, which are two different forms of clause analysis. These two require, and they are known for their names, are very much related to clause analysis. So in a complex sentence, there is one principal clause and others are known as subordinate clauses, which are 3 in number: noun clause, adjective clause, and adverb clause. Whereas in compound also there are clauses, but then in a complex sentence, only one is a principal clause, and the others are either noun clause or adjective clause or adverb clause. Whereas in a compound sentence, we have more than one principal clauses. There may be 2, there may be 3. One is a principal clause, and second or third are known as coordinate to the first, that is principal clause. Thank you very much.